Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hello, I'm Eric.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look at some of our favorite action movies from the era of Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies and breaking them all the way down.
Oh man, we're back.
We're so back, brother.
Dude, Lionheart, this is, again, like way better than I was expecting.
Well, were you a Jean-Claude Van Damme guy?
He was always like better than Steven Seagal,
Of
but
course.
not quite Bruce Willis. So,
Right.
But I have a bias because the first R-rated movie, and we've talked about this in the past, the first R-rated movie I saw in theaters was with my dad, and it was Die Hard.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just like there's a special place in my heart for Die Hard and Bruce
Die Hard,
Willis's
though,
canon.
is like an indisputable, great movie.
Yeah, yeah.
If anyone ever comes and tells me I didn't like Die Hard, then you're a fucking narc.
It's just like, right,
There's
exactly.
something wrong with you.
What government agency are you working for?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I was a big, so I love karate movies.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
a simple creature. I just love watching dudes do martial arts.
Yeah.
And stuff is just fucking rad. And Jean-Claude Van Damme was like, you know, I was a little too young, I guess, to be on that Chuck Norris bandwagon.
That's
so, you know, Hollywood always had to have like a white guy who was doing martial arts. And
Always.
Jean-Claude Van Damme took over that mantle, I guess, after Chuck Norris kind of had come and gone.
Well, I mean, I think Norris went to television because he did Walker, Texas Ranger for like, you know, a million years. Yeah.
But I just, and you want to talk about bad actors. Chuck Norris couldn't
God.
act for shit. I
Just-
never seen any Walker, Texas Ranger. I don't know if he ever got any
It's
better.
so bad. No, I mean, it's so bad that Conan O'Brien did a bit on his show for years and years and years
Okay.
called the Walker, Texas Ranger lever, where he would pull this fake yellow lever and it would play an out of context clip from Walker, Texas Ranger. There was no writing. It was just the out of context clip was the comedy. Like that, and that was
Yes.
enough. And it was amazing.
So the only Chuck Norris movie I ever liked was Sidekicks.
I love
Do you remember
sidekicks.
Sidekicks?
I love
That was a
sidekicks.
good part for him because he got to play himself.
Yeah.
So he didn't like have to necessarily like try to become a character.
And it was Jonathan Brandis
Yeah.
before he unfortunately killed himself.
Yeah.
And he was great in it. It was a shame because I liked Jonathan Brandis growing up. I
Yeah.
identified with him.
He was,
you know,
that Ladybugs. I liked Ladybugs.
I
as
loved.
well.
I loved Rodney Dangerfield.
But yeah, Sidekicks was like the '90s version of the Karate Kid.
Yeah,
where he's like
agreed.
the underdog, and he's gonna learn a little karate, and you know,
and
kicks-
all the
kick a little
fantasy
ass.
sequences I totally
But
related
yeah, like
to.
inserting him into like real Chuck Norris movies is kind of cool.
It was fun. I
was
liked that
into
movie
that
a lot.
movie.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyway, I don't know. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, I did love Van Damme.
yeah.
I watched all the Van Damme movies I could see. You know, I loved this one. I loved Kickboxer was probably like the second ever R-rated movie I saw.
Okay,
Or maybe the
okay.
first. It was like we had some free week of HBO or something, and it was Kickboxer and Die Hard. We recorded them both, and I probably watched them both, 100 times
yeah.
each on the VHS or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
But yeah, Bloodsport. I mean, who doesn't like Bloodsport?
Bloodsport's a great one.
Yeah.
yeah.
And like Universal Soldier, he was like doing good work.
I forgot. Yeah, you know what? I do. I take it back. I did like Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I'm like, I don't think, I was able to recognize, I guess he's not Stallone level. He's not Schwarzenegger level
Yeah.
of like a star.
Yeah, I was always a Schwarzenegger guy personally. So
But as a kid, like his movies didn't miss for me. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
liked all of them that I saw.
okay, all right.
Cyborg was the one I never was allowed to watch growing up.
Oh, I watched that one.
I think one time only, like my mom walked in and he's like sort of crucified,
Yeah,
or something.
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
oh hell no, you're not
Oh,
watching this.
oh, really?
And she like turned it off, and then I just was not allowed to watch Cyborg anymore.
I would sneak out of bed at night, go downstairs because we had a multi-level house. And so I would sneak out of my bedroom at night and go downstairs and turn on the TV and watch all of those movies.
Oh, dude, yeah.
So I saw Cyborg and all of that, but I was watching it at like 2 a.m. I've been a night owl since I was like 11 years old. So
well, like the movies were all. I don't think this was even on HBO. It's like, this shit's are edited. I mean, it wasn't like that
exactly.
terrible. But Mom, I think, was just like, oh, hell no. Like, once she got wise to the type of shit I was watching, you know?
I think the first time I saw Cyborg was on the USA Network.
Yeah,
you
for sure.
That?
Yeah. I think that's why I was watching it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that was a trip down memory lane there.
What are you drinking, man?
I am drinking. This is a local Atlanta brewery, Creature Comforts. It's a classic city lager. It's a basic pilsner.
That's an easy drinker.
It is an easy drinker. I call it my basic bitch beer.
Yeah.
When I just want something easy and I don't want to think about it, classic city lager is a great way to go.
Man, it doesn't miss.
Yeah.
I'm drinking a little Four Roses single barrel.
Yeah.
It was a Paulie from Rocky's like preferred bourbon. I think was Four Roses.
It was,
a
yes,
Four Roses
indeed.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
You can't go wrong with Four Roses. That's that's
a classic, man.
Solid bourbon. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll try to bring us up to date on what happened in the first part of this flick. So we saw this unidentified like Frenchman getting burned up by some evil drug dealers.
Yep.
He's in the hospital. He's calling out for Leon, whoever that is. He's got a wife and child who's like left behind here. Then we see Leon is in North Africa in the French Foreign Legion, like breaking rocks in the hot sun or whatever the hell. He gets word that his brother needs him in Los Angeles, so he escapes from his military base. He stows away on a steamship and like shoveling fucking coal all the way across the Atlantic Ocean or whatever, winds up in New York, which is not where he's supposed to be. So he's in New York. He needs to get to Los Angeles, and that's where we're at.
Yeah, that's right. We cut to after his first day. He's at a payphone, or during his first day, he's at a payphone, and there's this like quintessential New York operator.
Yeah.
You need to. I can't even do a New York.
It was like
right
a fucking Fran Drescher.
Yeah, it was straight up Fran Drescher
from The Nanny or something.
Yeah.
It was bad casting because the woman on the phone identified herself as like Los Angeles information, and it's like, why are you so fucking New Yorky then?
Then why are you speaking with this Brooklyn
the fuck
accent?
is going on out here?
Yeah. And didn't she ask him like it's like a $2.50?
Yeah, she was basically, give me like $2 or whatever, or this is the end of this phone call.
Right. And it was like, Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, she acts like a New Yorker at the very least.
For sure.
But yeah, so he has no money and she hangs up the phone on him. And mercifully, though, for him, he hears this strange commotion beneath an overpass. And he wanders over and sees an illegal street fight going on.
It was like the original bum fights.
Yeah, it was. Like before they were recording it.
Yeah.
So he walks in and there's this crowd of people surrounded under this overpass. And there are, in Street Fighter, some of the stages are literally under overpasses.
Absolutely,
right?
man.
So back to the Street Fighter references, there's plenty of them in this movie. Anyway, there's a whole crowd of people and they're watching two guys go ham on each other.
They were like moving like video game characters. They were just sort of like
exactly.
Rhythmically bouncing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a sprite sheet of animation.
We had this thing going where if you didn't listen to the first episode or didn't pay that much attention, where this should have been the Street Fighter movie.
It should have. 100%.
This is the Street Fighter movie we should have gotten.
100%.
But it's not.
I mean, especially given even now with his ridiculous dungarees and his tattered shirt, that's a costume. That is straight up a costume.
But like the people that we're going to encounter in his fighting world are such weird caricatures that it's like, this is what Street Fighter is.
Yep.
This is the video game.
Yep, exactly. So he sees a bunch of day laborers, and they're all betting on the fight. And there's this guy who we'll learn about soon. He's running the whole thing. He's basically just taking all the bets, right? He's the bookie of the fight, right? After this fight ends, he hands the winner a wad of cash, and then like hands out the receipts for all the other guys. Asks if the guy wants to fight again, and he's like, no, I want to fight again. And he was like, all right, well, is there anybody else who wants to fight? And JCVD.
Yeah, we can see what way this is heading.
We know exactly where this is headed. It's like he steps forward and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna play this."
Everyone's like kind of laughing at him.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't really get. I mean, Jean-Claude Van Damme is like he's pretty and all, whatever, but he's like fucking, he's a built, muscular, strong guy. Like, I don't know why you'd look at him and be like, this guy can't fight.
They're definitely
like, he looks like a
laughing at his jeans.
bodybuilder. They're laughing at the pants.
Yeah, they're definitely laughing at his jeans. But he steps forward and he says, like, I'll fight. And the guy goes, what's your name? And he says, my name is Leon. And everyone laughs at him because, you know, Leon is a wussy French name.
Sure, yeah.
And so the ringleader, he's like looking him up and down and he goes, the lion, which isn't that what Leon means?
I don't know.
But anyway,
so I put a note in like this character's name is Joshua. They don't tell us a name for a while.
No, for a while, right? We're just gonna call him Joshua.
Yeah, he's Joshua.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Harrison Page. He's the second lead in the movie, the real MVP of the movie for my money.
Yeah. Oh yeah, straight up. No, what absolutely the best character.
He carries Van Damme.
Oh yeah. No,
all the way, yeah.
You actually feel for this character over the course of this movie.
Yeah.
Especially given that you're gonna right now, as you know this character, you're gonna think he's a sleazeball, right?
Sure. Yeah.
But anyway. So he says, hey, does anyone want to come up and fight the lion? And of course, this big, giant, muscular guy shows up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just like comically, oversized.
This dude was like, he was built like a fire hydrant.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Like his center of gravity was so low, I don't know how anybody could knock him over.
In the credits, he was credited as New York Monster Fighter. I
think that's an appropriate name. Yeah. So Joshua starts taking the bets. And of course, everyone is betting against Leon. Eventually, he cuts off the bets and he says that, look, everyone is betting against you. And if you win, I'll split the money with you.
That's not how gambling works.
Nope, that is not how it works.
That's not how betting works. But I don't know how Joshua runs his shit, but it's not like if I'm the house, if I'm Joshua, I'm not just like, if everyone's betting on the other guy, then we're not, you're not betting against me. You're betting against the other bettor. So if no one's betting on Leon or the lion, whatever, there's not a fight. Who knows how Joshua runs his shit? Maybe he's got a good feeling.
Yeah, I'm not gonna judge
about
him.
Leon.
Yeah, he's got the instinct.
Also, if you win the fight, you don't get to split you don't get the money that everyone gambled.
No, you don't.
That's not how that works.
I don't know how the economies of street fighting works.
Maybe Joshua runs a real he doesn't run a tight ship.
No, he's really loose with his bets. Anyway. So Leon offers a handshake to the big guy, and they shake hands, and then the fight begins. And I love this. The jazz sax underpinning this fight sequence feels so weird for this moment. But anyway, it's the early 90s, so of course you have to have saxophone music in the...
For sure. It was the day of Kenny G.
Yeah, right? Exactly. So... the big guy is just throwing nothing but these big, massive punches.
Right.
Slow, heavy punches, which Leon dodges, effortlessly, right? Like, he just sees him coming from a mile away. And then Leon immediately just pounds on this guy, just relentless.
We were getting a lot of the JCVD noises like, bah! And he has
So eventually the big guy's had enough of it and he charges at him. And then Leon, of course, just kicks the guy in one of his classic JCVD kicks.
Yeah.
And just
yeah.
It
was I found it interesting because I feel like Van Damme's already not at his blood sport kickboxer prime as a martial artist anymore, even though it's a few years removed or whatever. I never as a person, as a little kid watching all these movies, I didn't think about the chronology of the movies, whatever, but it all probably doesn't help that he's fighting in dungarees or whatever.
That's definitely not a help.
But in blood sport and kickboxer, he's larger than life, doing nothing but these high flying, spinning kicks and jumping and doing all sorts of splits and shit. And I feel like he's already a few years, I guess, because I looked it up. I want to say he was in his early 30s when he did this. I feel like, you probably aren't going to be at that prime.
Yeah,
once you start aging out of it a little bit. And then, you cut to a few years later and he's doing shit like Time Cop where he's barely doing any martial arts at all.
But this is an interesting thing that I just realized. There's no splits in this movie.
No.
He doesn't do any splits in this movie.
I don't know if it's because he just wasn't up for it, if he wasn't in split shape or what. I don't know. But
anyway,
watching it, I'm like, he doesn't seem as physically dynamic, but he is doing the shit in blue jeans.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Which is like, that's not easy.
He's literally going to split his
pants. I don't
pants
know why
if he does a
he's
split
choosing to fight in blue jeans later. But
right.
this one makes sense. These are the only clothes that he's got.
Right.
I'll give him a pass this time.
Look, if we're talking Street Fighter here, all the characters have the same costume.
Yeah, it wasn't
so
fucking guy was fighting in like cargo pants.
Right,
or
exactly.
Some shit.
So
all right, yeah.
Anyway, so ultimately he lays the big guy out with a knee to the face, and everybody is just absolutely shocked by what happened.
Right.
And Joshua goes, "You a bad motherfucker with that foreign stuff."
I love Joshua. He's so good. He's talking like a mile a minute.
So fast. And so Leon takes the wad of cash right out of Joshua's pocket. And like he literally keeps almost all of it for himself.
How much money do you think was there? How much money do you think that is?
$100.
I mean, it wasn't been that much because I feel like dudes were betting like $3, $4, $5.
Yeah, at most. Anyway, Leon walks away and Joshua follows him, and he's just like going to town. I mean,
he's like, you may
talking,
fight, but you can't fight for shit. Hey, and like it's just. Yeah. I feel like first. There's no way all that dialogue was scripted.
Yeah.
So I feel like this dude was like an improving god. Like, because he could just riff.
Yeah, he totally was. Like, so much of his dialogue was just totally riffed.
And then I feel like also, though, if you've got one character who either doesn't talk much or like an actor who shouldn't talk much, then it's a good idea to have a character with him who talks way too much.
The motor mouth, right?
Exactly. It kind of makes it work.
It's kind of tropey, right? Like the quiet, strong individual, and then the guy who's always talking.
Belushi and Schwarzenegger and Red Heat or whatever, right? Like it was the same type of dynamic.
Well, you got and you got Schwarzenegger and Tom Arnold. Right, like it,
or Danny DeVito,
Danny DeVito. So you've always got like Schwarzenegger was classic about that dichotomy, and it was always like the fast-talking wisecrackers.
It's smart,
yeah.
It's a smart thing. You had Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan.
Yeah, that's right.
It's smart.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're at this like curbside diner. It was almost like a food truck. I mean, it was But Leon is at a phone. And he's called back to L.A. and I guess he's got he's paid the money at this point. Although there was no change. Like,
he would have maybe the dude at the little food truck.
There we go. There we go.
Something.
Yeah, he broke the dollar. That makes sense. Anyway, he gets through, but a recording is telling him that the phone number is no longer in service. Like, what number is he calling?
I guess he got information and got a number for the apartment.
For Helene's?
That's what I had to think.
Okay. Okay.
This is a payphone heavy movie, though.
It was. There's a lot of payphone
usage in the flick.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, the cook's like slides out. I got hungry. That greasy ass hamburger. I'm like, yeah, baby, I want some of that.
Ain't no way. Like Leon acts like I'm too good for this. I'm not interested.
He hasn't eaten in days.
You gotta be hungry as hell, man.
Yeah. But he's like, no, this is beneath me.
Yeah.
Anyway, Joshua talks to Leon and says, look, if you're trying to get to LA, I can take you there.
Yeah.
Or, like I can get you over to LA.
For sure.
And Leon's like considering it. While he's considering it, the chef hands Joshua the check. And Joshua like eyes over to Leon. And then the cook like gives the receipt to Leon and says, you're paying for this. And Joshua says, like, I'll get you lunch on the other side.
Thank you very much for that, man. That is so good. The cook I don't think, have a single word of dialogue.
No, not a single word of dialogue.
But that was one authentically weird, like, New York-looking motherfucker that they cast.
Hell yeah. So Leon says, like, when can we head to L.A.? And it says, like, well, it just depends on you. We just got to go meet some people first. So cut to, and this was great because I was like, what's going on here? Cut to Joshua and Leon walking into a corporate office building.
Right.
Yeah, and
that's
Leon,
what got me is in the inside of the lobby. This was clearly not Manhattan. Like outside the door was not like traffic driving by. It was like a big sort of like turnaround, like the Nakatomi Plaza or something. I'm like, well, that's not Manhattan,
definitely
but okay,
LA.
Fine.
But I mean, you're not paying that much attention to it.
No. That's only when you're watching it and taking copious notes for a podcast.
So Joshua asks to see her to the front, like the security guard at the front desk, who he clearly knows who Joshua is referring to.
Right.
And he doesn't make a call. He doesn't do anything. But either way, Brian Thompson shows up.
Yeah, like
out of nowhere.
Timing was perfect.
Right, exactly. And
there probably was some shit cut out.
Yeah,
like,
there might have been a scene.
Speed it up.
Yeah. Anyway, so Brian Thompson comes out of the elevator. This is Russell.
Yes.
And he greets Joshua warmly. They clearly know each other. They have a past.
This is like a big hulking dude in a double-breasted suit. Clearly, yeah, like you said, there seems to be an animosity between them. They definitely know each other. Joshua definitely doesn't like Russell.
Right, exactly. Russell is like, oh, I know you. Josh was like, I know you and I don't like you.
Yeah, I feel like there must be some backstory here. I have a big theory about it, which I'll get to later as we see a little bit more of some of the dynamics unfold. That's a tease for your ass, so stick around.
Okay.
But I have big theories about
motivation to come back.
Backstories with these characters here.
So Russell's like, look, why are you here? And how did you even find me? And Joshua says, word gets around. You know how it is. So he says, but look, I've got someone here that you're going to want to see. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
And so Russell says, all right, come back next week. And Joshua's like, no. You're going to want to see this right now. Russell says, all right, well, look, you just don't know when to quit, do you, dude? And Joshua's like, look, Leon just beat 5 people's asses, totally immediately exaggerating.
Yeah, he's lying, right?
Totally
unless
lying.
There were more fights.
Unless there was more fights that got cut out of
There's
the movie.
no way they wouldn't have shown that. Though,
right. I agree.
Unless you cut the movie shorter and you're like, you know what, we're going to cut some of these. I can see we got to raise some more money. You want to have a few more fights?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, so it's possible. Anyway, Russell looks Leon up and down and says, okay, fuck it. Follow me. This is great. Okay, great. So Russell leads Leon and Joshua down into the parking garage. And in the garage, again, there are Street Fighter stages that are in parking garages.
Yeah, right.
Literally every location is a location that has been in a Street Fighter game.
Well, these wealthy, fucking people standing around.
Rich motherfuckers dressed to the nines for some reason.
Yeah, furs and shit.
Yeah, the ladies are dressed like they're going out to a cocktail party. The men are all in their Armani suits. There's limousines everywhere.
I feel like this is the type of shit that Patrick Bateman probably does when he's not killing homeless people.
He goes and watches
fights in parking garages.
I mean, even the onlookers could be background characters from a Street Fighter stage.
They had that look. They were all just walking cliches.
Right, just total walking cliches. So Russell tells Leon and Joshua to wait off to the side, and he heads off into the milieu. And Joshua tells Leon, look, this is your ticket to LA. So at this point, a woman with very long legs and a very short haircut, which was a total turnoff for me. But she approaches in the craziest fucking sequin dress. And this is just the beginning. This is the most normal you will ever see this character. Russell is following behind her. This is Cynthia. And you will not hear her name many times.
Right, that's what Josh was like. This is the lady.
This is the lady, and this is her show. For most of my notes while I was taking notes, I just wrote the lady in quotes.
Yeah.
And then 2/3 of the movie, Joshua says Cynthia, and I'm like, who the fuck is Cynthia? And I'm like, oh, okay. Anyway.
She's kind of like a poor man's Brigitte Nielsen her Rocky IV look.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a little kid, I thought she was just scary looking, and gross. And then now as an adult, I'm like, she's not bad. She's pretty hot, to be honest. I mean, the hair is tough.
Couldn't do the hair. Yeah, but her body's rocking.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. And I was looking at her IMDb page. She's still fucking hot, dude.
Oh, yeah? She aged well?
She's aged really well.
Okay.
Yeah,
right
super
on.
hot. Yeah. Anyway, so the lady, Cynthia, is immediately horny for Leon.
That was wild.
Instantly had a hard on for
She
him.
just wanted to crawl all over him.
She asked who he is, and Joshua interjects, and he says, this is the lion, king of the jungle. Which is great.
Yeah.
So Cynthia's not having that nickname and asks Leon his actual name. When he speaks in his ridiculous accent, I think she came.
Oh, yeah, she came in her pants.
Just
right
sure. Immediately. Yeah, instantly. And she goes, you're French? And Leon goes, what's the difference? Which, yeah, you want me to beat somebody up? Who gives a shit what my accent is? So Joshua is trying to diffuse the tension because she's going to just jump his bones if someone doesn't do anything. And says that Leon doesn't like talking about himself. Cynthia says she can appreciate that attitude as long as you can give the crowd what you want.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we cut to, it's a fighter named Sonny, and he's just killing this other guy.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a very one-sided fight.
Super one-sided. And the ring of people are just eating it up.
And the dude, he just had the one move, though.
Yeah.
I feel like the one guy would come sort of with a kick and a punch,
Yep.
and Sonny would duck the punch and punch him in the stomach.
Yep.
Like, and that happened 5 times in a row.
Yep.
It was like Daniel LaRusso in Karate Kid, where he just sidestep and kick him in the gut.
Anyway, at one point, the guy punches the other guy, and blood splatters on this one hot woman in the crowd who is really loving it.
She was turned on by it. She catches Leon's eyes, wipes the blood off of her chest, and then licks her finger. And I swear to God, in my notes, I'm like, you don't know where that blood has been. Absolutely.
Did you just give yourself AIDS? Like, what the fuck just happened here?
This woman is all sorts of trouble, man.
Oh, my God.
That's like the craziest sex you would ever have in your life with this woman.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. But then also, I'd immediately go get STD tests.
Yeah. Just bathe in bleach afterwards.
Just bathe in bleach. Absolutely. But it'd be worth it. Anyway, so Sonny has the guy, the fighter has the guy out on his feet, and then delivers this bizarre line, "Let's do lunch sometime."
Let's do lunch sometime.
And then finally his last blow is a kick to the balls, which is not the last time we get a kick to the balls in this movie.
No. That line made no sense. I don't know if he's pandering to like the yuppie crowd.
Yeah, maybe he was like,
there.
let's do lunch. Like, have my people call your people would have made more sense. Or
well,
something.
like Sonny had like collapsed this dude's windpipe and then went for his balls. That was fucking brutal.
Yeah, it was bad, but the crowd loves it. They applaud Sonny.
And Sonny went over to Cynthia, and Cynthia like was like stroking his face, like that was the same shit she was doing to Leon.
That's
it's just
her
weird.
Kink, I guess. She just loves fucking street fighters.
She wants to fuck the best fighter, like ancient Roman shit.
Absolutely. So Joshua says to Leon, "It's like it's time. Do we see how badly you want to get to L.A.?"
Mm-hmm.
So Cynthia walks up, asking Leon, "Are you sure you want to mess up your pretty face?" Which is okay. All right, that's a good line. But Leon pulls away from her caressing hand and then steps into the fighting ring. And I just don't understand this, man. Like,
the dude Russell also is there. He's like, "You're up, stud." It was like weird. He's like, his performance was just weird. It was weird. I don't know if we can talk about it more later because I think it's more relevant later. But like, it seems like he's maybe like in love with Cynthia or something. Russell,
I swear to God, yeah, there's no question
because he's got some weird jealousy of Leon like immediately.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I suspect he's got jealousy of all the fighters. And I'm like,
or he could be secretly like gay or something, and like it's weird. Who knows?
So he's like jealous of the fighters getting the affection.
Maybe, or
from
he
Cynthia?
wants to be the fighters, but he also wants to fuck the fighters or something.
This is getting.
I don't know.
We're getting really deep.
We're deep into
we're creating
Russell's.
a pathos for Russell, who is a very superficial character in this movie.
It could just be exactly what it seems like.
Yeah,
where he's just
exactly.
like, you needed somebody else there.
So a bookie who.
This Eugene Levy looking motherfucker.
Exactly. Like, I was a little bit offended with how Jewish this guy looked. That he's the bookie.
You're
I'm like,
this
really?
is some anti-Semitic motherfucker.
Really?
Even though there's nothing to insinuate that he's like
but like
Jewish
his
at all.
mannerisms and the way he talks, he's clearly presented as a New York Jew.
Oh yeah, he's Eugene Levy.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
just was. His performance was weird.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, he tells them that the betting has Sonny as a 3-1 odds and as the favorite.
See, at least that's how gambling actually works.
Exactly.
It's not just like, well, if everyone bets on Sonny, then the house just has to pay everyone off. Like, no, there's like we're gonna make odds to try to make the betting even.
Yeah,
that's how it works. Yeah.
So
he's like, what's the new guy's name?
Yeah, exactly. And Cynthia grins and says, she like looks him up and down, pauses. It comes to her in a flash, and she says, "Lionheart."
Which you can walk out right now if you want to. Like someone has said the title of the movie.
Someone has said the title of the movie. Yeah.
Whatever. I feel like it's been a while though since we've had a movie where someone just said the title.
That is true.
And while mugging to the camera.
That is true. That's a good point. Hard to Kill didn't do that. Of all of its sins, it didn't do that.
And honestly, they're like, Lionheart is no less corny than The Lion.
No. It is. It
might be worse.
Did not improve. She did not improve on this. She actually made him like romanticized him a little bit.
Right.
Anyway, Joshua proposes to Leon that he'll get 15% of Leon's earnings if we win, and then I'll get 5% if we lose.
Uh-huh.
Which, okay, fine. Leon asks, like, what's up with the we talk? And Joshua says, who brought you here, sucker?
Who brought you here, sucker? Like, I agree with Joshua. His cut is not unreasonable.
No, it's not unreasonable. Yeah.
He was doing like a Samuel L. Jackson thing before Samuel L. Jackson was doing it.
The thing that confused me about Joshua the whole time is like he's this noble spirit.
Yeah.
I mean, immediately, right out of the gate, and I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop.
For him to betray him or something.
Exactly.
No, he's never anything but completely upstanding.
Yeah, exactly. And just like, for whatever reason, has this affection for Leon that is not earned by Leon at all.
But we'll get there because we get enough little tidbits about his backstory to maybe understand his motivation.
Yeah, exactly. So Joshua says, like, look, I'm going to bet all of our money on Leon to win, and then we'll split that too.
Absolutely.
Great. Yeah, why not? Dude, you just saw him murder a guy like twice his size. So,
yeah.
But Leon seems nervous about this. Joshua puts his arm around him and says, look, we're partners in all of this together. And I thought, you're bullshitting, but no, he was being serious.
No,
like, he was like,
he's
no,
like, come on,
we can do this.
He's
we
like,
can do this.
We're a partner. We're in this together. He's like, don't neither one of us ever forget that.
Right.
And he's like just a likable motherfucker.
I know.
Like, he's like a noble dude.
And like the more likable he is, the more I suspect him for this movie.
The betrayal's
coming.
coming.
I'm just like, when is the other shoe going to drop here? So anyway, Cynthia tells the bookie
you
to put
fucking racist. I'm kidding. I'm
a bookieist. So Cynthia tells another bookie, look, put all my money on Lionheart but keep it a secret though. Like,
I don't really know why it needs to be a secret.
But,
like the fight is going to start in 10 seconds.
Right, exactly. It's like by this point, betting is closed.
Yeah.
So Sonny and Leon meet in the center of the ring, and then the ref comes out and he's like, you know the rules. There are no rules.
Right.
I was like, okay. So Sonny tells Leon Lo, you're kind of pretty. I don't know if I want to fight you or fuck you. I'm like, all right, okay.
Then Sonny had like a Bill Paxton thing going. Like his delivery is sort of facial like mannerisms.
He was also wearing a leather vest with no shirt.
Yeah, that was a strange choice.
So
I gotta say, Van Damme is a very handsome dude.
Yeah,
like,
he's a good-looking
very
guy.
good-looking man.
And
of
he's
all the
aged well,
action
too.
stars,
Yeah.
he was probably the best looking of them all.
Yeah, exactly. So Leon is not rattled at all by Sonny's nonsense. For a moment, they circle each other, and the tension builds. And I don't remember if the sax music is playing in this moment.
I think it was just some very like tense, like low, like sort of drum. Like
yeah. So Sonny finally attacks Leon with a kick, but Leon catches it and then punches him right in the dick. So Sonny is just immediately fucking just done.
I think
crumbles in a heap.
His balls probably like exploded.
Oh my god, I don't even want to think about it.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Do you think Leon did that because he didn't like the way that Sonny had hit that previous guy in the balls?
It was a revenge play.
Do you think he was like, this dirty motherfucker, I'll show him?
Yeah. I think
I think so
I buy
too.
that 100%.
I think he went for it because he didn't like that dirty ass shit that he pulled.
100%.
Especially when he had the other guy just beaten.
Yeah.
And then he like wrecked his balls.
Yeah, right, exactly.
No, he's like, no,
you already won. Yeah.
You're never gonna have kids. That's
which, in all honesty, Leon was probably doing the world a service. So it's a win on multiple counts. So the crowd is absolutely in shock. Joshua is just celebrating. He's like, motherfucker, yeah. So Sonny can't stand up. The referee says it's a knockout. And then Leon almost immediately gets into an altercation with one of the better. It's just like this really douchey guy with a tiny little rat
yuppie
tail.
motherfucker.
He was standing next to the sexy chick
He was
who
the
drank
date
the blood.
of the sexy girl.
Yeah.
And it was fucking Lawrence Bender.
Lawrence Bender from fucking Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction producer.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he produced a lot. I think he produced for Tarantino up at least through Kill Bill.
Yeah.
And he played in Pulp Fiction. He was in the movie and he played long-haired yuppie scum in Pulp Fiction, like one of the patrons in the diner or whatever. And I feel like this is the same character.
Oh yeah,
I feel like it's like shared universe.
100%.
So Lionheart is happening within the Pulp Fiction universe.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's fair. I'm on board with that. So Joshua hypes this guy up, and says, "Lionheart, king of the jungle!" Like shouted at the top of his
He
lungs.
won't let that king of the jungle.
No. He's committed to that.
I feel like he says like king of the jungle like at least 5 times probably in this little section of the movie.
Yeah. So later on, after the fight, Cynthia's giving Leon and Joshua a ride in her limo, and this is like the first of several scenes that take place in exactly this blocking with Joshua and Leon on one side of the ride,
You're right.
and Russell and Cynthia on the other side of the ride. But Cynthia's like, look, Leon can never put his hands on a patron ever again.
Right.
Right.
Which is fair enough. That's,
Yeah. I mean, like, you're not going to get invited to fights if you then rough up all the like bystanders.
Yeah.
So, but Cynthia's at this point has been keyed into the fact that he's trying to get to LA, but it's like, no, fuck LA. Like, you should just keep fighting here, you know?
Yeah, right.
And she says, I can get you another fight within a week for way more money. And Leon says, no, I got to get to LA right now. Cynthia keeps like presses him for info.
Well,
but
at this point, I was confused about how the fuck are you going to get this guy to LA?
Right.
Like, he doesn't have an ID or anything like that. And then I was researching and I was like, oh shit, you could fly domestically with no ID until like 1996.
Yeah.
Like, you could just, anyone who's holding a ticket could get on board a plane.
Right.
The government was not tracking you at all.
Nope.
That's wild to me.
Crazy how much things have changed.
I was not like flying much at that, and I wasn't even old enough, I guess, to have an ID at that point.
Right, exactly.
But, like shit. So just any person holding a ticket can go anywhere domestically, not internationally. Yeah, not international, but still weird.
Anyway, when Leon's not willing to talk, Cynthia gets pissed and wants to like, look, okay, if you're gonna go to LA, can you be back in a few days? And Josh was like.
She is not used to not getting her way.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean, that reminds me of an ex of mine. It's just like, she doesn't react well if she's not getting her way. Yeah.
Well, Joshua says is like, look, he needs to get to LA, and his reasons are his business, and he'll come back when he's ready to come back. Which
Joshua, he's 100% being a man of his word.
Yeah,
like he's advocating for Leon's interests.
Yeah. Anyway, Leon says that he took the fight only to help his family. And Cynthia demands to know how else Leon is going to make $5,000 for a night's work, right?
That's pretty good.
Fair. You made $5,000 in a night?
Yeah.
Okay. But Leon isn't taking the bait, and he says, stop the car. So she says, look, I can set up a fight for you on the West Coast if you want to do it that way. But he is like, nope, I'm done.
Whoa.
I only wanted the one fight.
Slow down, Leon.
Yeah.
We got to consider this. Like, you know,
right.
You that money is pretty good.
You got a good fucking thing going right now, bro.
I don't know. I get the impression he doesn't like fighting for blood money. Like, that's not his style, whatever.
Okay.
That's respectable.
That's respectable. He gets out of the car. Cynthia gives Joshua her phone number and says, like, call me when the money runs out. All right, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's legit.
She's right, because like $5,000 is not going to last you very long.
No.
Even back then.
So Leon and Joshua, then they find themselves again in like a really sketchy neighborhood where there's homeless people all up and down the street, right?
Yeah, this is wild. It doesn't like look like Manhattan, but maybe they're out like in Brooklyn or something at this point. I don't know, but
I mean, honestly, it looks like an LA street with homeless people on it,
because it is, but
So Leon, heads out ahead of Joshua, and Joshua. This is actually the first time I've really noticed it when I was watching it. But he has a limp, which is relevant. That's not an arbitrary limp.
He also has this like cauliflower ear that we notice sometimes.
Which we noticed.
So like,
I noticed that too.
It is some of the worst makeup effects I've ever seen. It was like just a little like thing they must stick on it. But
it's like, were you trying for? I mean, I knew they were trying for a cauliflower ear.
Yeah.
But also, if you're not fighting a lot, the swelling goes down.
Yeah.
Right. So.
But I guess we're supposed to gather that Joshua had been a fighter himself.
He'd been a fighter
in his previous life or whatever. It didn't end well for him.
It did not end well for him. But we'll learn more about that. We'll learn more about that. Anyway, he says, look, the airport is too far away to walk, man. And Joshua accuses Leon of like ditching him after like, dude, I helped you and now you're fucking walking away from me?
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
I mean, nor does Leon have the first clue about how to get to the airport.
He has no idea where the airport is, right? Like does he even know how to taxis
He's not
work
going to know
anywhere?
how to get himself to LA on his own.
Exactly. So Leon stops, whips out his roll of cash and says like, look, do you want more money? Joshua tells him to put the money away before someone sees how much you have. And I'm like, yeah, dude, like with all these people,
it was kind of funny.
You're going to get mugged.
He's like, these motherfuckers, they know we got $10,000. We're not going to make it to that corner.
Yeah.
He's right. He's given nothing but good advice.
Yeah, exactly. So Joshua's like, look, calm down. I'll get you where you need to go. So the first thing we need to do is call a cab and get out of this neighborhood. He spots a payphone across the street, and they walk over, and I guess a gang of hoodlums whose turf is just this payphone.
This little alley
just shows up out of nowhere. These costumes are amazing.
They looked like some roided up version of West Side Story.
It was
like they popped out and it was like
yeah, I was waiting for them to start snapping.
Like it was like they were wearing like long trench coats but with no
shirt on
and like abs just popping.
One guy had a fishnet shirt on.
It was fucking
like,
nuts.
What is this? That was like I laughed very hard at that scene. The movie did not want me laughing at that moment, but I was laughing.
They looked like they had stepped out of another movie. Like it was some sci-fi shit.
Yeah, exactly.
These guys were from the future.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, the leader, who's wearing the long leather trench coat with no shirt, says that there's a tax that if you want to use our phone. And Justice is like, no, we'll just keep going. And now the leader's like all offended and shit. It's like, what, you don't like our phone?
You're too good for my phone?
You're too good for my phone?
It was kind of a good scenario because you're like, fuck, how am I going to get out of this one?
Yeah. So Leon reaches for his pocket and is like, look, how much money do you want? But Joshua stops him. And the lead goon says, hey, man, let the white boy talk and ask how much he wants to pay. So Joshua speaks up and says, like, look, I'll kick the goon ass before he pays you shit.
He's like, he ain't got no motherfucking money. I got the money, and I'm not paying you shit. It's like, look at Joshua's laying it all on the line for Leon.
I know, man. And I keep waiting for this other shoe to drop, even now.
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
It made no sense.
No, it's like, why do you love this guy so much? But all right. So the goons have done, they've heard enough, and one of them reaches for a gun in his waistband, but then Leon immediately kicks it out of his hand, and then starts beating up dudes.
And it was like, take notes, Steven Seagal. Yeah. This is how you do it, because you got to kick it out of his hand before he can even barely get it out of his waistband. You can't wait for him to point it at you and wait, and then you swap the weapon away.
Start quipping before you lazily push the gun to the side. Anyway, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Leon takes care of all the other thugs, and Joshua just wails on the shirtless trench coat wearing motherfucker.
Another piece of the puzzle falls into place. Like we see Joshua can fight.
Yep,
he can throw down.
He can throw down.
Even if he's old and like busted up and everything, he's still whipping this dude's ass.
Yeah. So the last goon standing, which I was watching this fight, he immediately like clocks the situation and just like extricates himself from the scenario and stands at the gate to see which side everything falls on. Like, if they beat up Joshua Leon, he's going to jump in and take credit.
Step in and kick him when he's down.
Right, exactly. He's monitoring the situation, and when it's clear that it's not going in his favor, he like gets scared. And this is the guy in the fucking fishnet shirt.
Yeah.
he points at Leon and goes, "This is your lucky day, punk," and then runs away.
It was funny. It was good. It was well written.
Yeah, it was a good moment. It was a good moment. So while this is happening, Joshua drags the leader over to the payphone and wraps the cord around his neck.
I loved that.
Which is a great moment. Anyway.
He was like riffing on the phone. He's like, what do you mean you don't send taxi cabs to this neighborhood?
Yeah, that's right. Like this goon has got a cord wrapped around his neck, and Joshua's like trying to get a cab to come here.
And that's when he's like, hey, you need to use the phone to Leon. It's like, I feel like this was like a great little moment.
And they actually exchange a high five too, which is like, what the fuck?
Actually, they're in it together, man.
Yeah, they're buddies now. Like this is real now. So later on, they finally got a cab, apparently. And Josh is like, look, you got to listen to me because I have the street smarts. And I know how to get you to your family. A lot of people in LA, a lot of shit going on, a lot of weird ass motherfuckers running around.
True shit.
True shit, man. It's LA.
He said, I've been everywhere from the Big Apple to the Big Orange.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I guess, well,
because. Is the Big Orange LA or is that?
Well, Orange County, I guess.
I don't know.
Like Anaheim is like an hour south of LA. Yeah, so it's not even in the same county.
I have no fucking clue, man.
I knew what they were trying to say, but it's like, okay, that's a reach.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway. And no one calls LA the Big Orange anyway.
No, I've never.
So,
I don't think any city is called the Big Orange.
No. So Josh says, "Look, I still owe you a lunch," and Leon says, "Fine, fine, fine." They agree. Leon reiterates that, like, "Look, I'm done with the fighting," and Josh is like, "Look, man, I can dig it." And I think that's what we're going to call it for this episode.
I gotta say, Joshua's been nothing but a stand-up guy.
No, straight up.
He's taking risks to help Leon,
left and right.
and Leon's not like giving him much, in way of like gratitude or anything
absolutely.
Like that,
I mean, and like he brings this stranger to the ladies' underground fighting ring. They do have a prior relationship, but it's a tenuous relationship. And, like, he puts it all on the line to put this stranger into this environment.
I mean, there's something in it for him.
Yeah.
But he's not taking advantage of Leon. He's, like, asking just a regular manager's fee.
Yeah.
And less than a regular manager's fee if you lose.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
I'm like, come on, this is like, this is pretty fair. I don't know.
Totally.
Anyway.
No.
That's just I'm just a big Joshua fan.
I'm a booster, man. Yeah. I'm on his side, 100%.
Good. I'm glad we can agree on this.
Yeah,
we don't have to fist fight right now. I'll fucking fight you. The bourbon's taking hold. You don't want none of this right now. Oh man.
Whiskey rage.
Yes. But we'll be back, my friends.
Yes.
We're gonna talk a whole lot more about Lionheart. We're about to get into a bunch of street fighting.
Oh man, it's gonna get good here.
It gets a little weird when they get to Los Angeles.
It gets weird when it gets to LA.
That's all we got to say. But okay, yeah. As always, thanks for listening. Thanks to the Last of the Action Heroes Podcast Network. If you're listening to us there, and if you're not, then check out the Action Heroes Podcast Network. There's some cool stuff going on, including the Frank Stallone podcast. And also, at some point coming up, you're going to hear Eric and myself on Katie's Retro Made podcast.
That's right.
What? Talking about Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off, a classic.
Not a lot of like murder and mayhem in the movie.
It's a bit of a departure for us, but we're allowed to branch
It's going to be pretty
out.
rad, you know?
Yeah.
Through bourbon, all things is possible.
That's true. I'm writing that one down.
All things is possible. Wait, what? Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm babbling now.
Yeah, and check out Rocky 4 because Ryan shows up for us and he makes that podcast so much better with his presence.
Yes, yeah. So that's all I got. Until next week.
Yeah, we'll be back.